Donna, this isn't Cowboys blue.
Okay.
Switching Fletcher onto Morris, it really seemed to kind of disrupt Morris. Just what was the matchup that you saw and saying, like, okay, we've got to do this and got to do it now?
Morris, like I said before the game, she's special. Like, she's a hard guard. And I thought Kiara did a great job in the first quarter. And then when we seen this sub, she got off. She got loose a little bit, and then we just decided that it's Kiara. But we wanted her to tire herself out, and maybe, she doesn't have as much lift on her shot, towards the end of the third quarter and the fourth quarter. But she's a pretty special player that can really light it up. She makes all the right basketball decisions.
And Aaliyah holds Angel to 4 rebounds today. Do you feel
Aaliyah?
like she... Well, partly Aaliyah.
Yeah, we did. It was a collective effort.
But, do you feel like Aaliyah kind of took a step forward in the Player of the Year conversation today?
I don't think Aaliyah has to do that. I really don't. I think the beauty of Aaliyah is her entire body of work. And there's not anyone in the country that produces like she produces on both sides of the basketball. Nobody. So as far as I'm concerned, I got no vote in it. I got none besides, my mouthpiece is, she is the best player in the country.
On this side to Pete.
Dawn, are you seeing more consistent dominance, I guess, that you wanted out of Camilla? This was another terrific game for her. Is she rounding into that player that you believe she can be?
Yes, you see glimpses of it all the time. And I've always said that she's the difference maker. She's the separator. Like, if we don't get her production, it's probably a lot closer game than what it was. But, she's a hard guard. And when we have her and Aaliyah in at the same time, you have to guard them player for player and not necessarily double. And they didn't do a whole lot of doubling, especially towards the end of the game. They did go into a zone, but we created opportunities for both of them to be low, and then they have to guard them, man to man. And we just threw it up. Rebuild did a great job passing it up to where only she could catch it and finish.
Jeremiah and then Alan.
Dawn, real quick, where did you get the chain from?
Somebody gave me this as I was walking around the gym.
Okay.
We got some of the best fams ever. Yes.
Yeah, and then second quarter, at one point LSU cut it to 3. You guys did bring it back up to 10 before halftime. Just, I guess, kind of what happened at that period when the lead got down, and how did you guys manage to bring it back up?
Yeah, they're a really good team. We knew from the beginning it wasn't going to be like a one-quarter game. They can score. Yeah, they can rebound the basketball. They can push. And they got Alexis Morris who can, she makes good basketball decisions that we had to really scheme to tire her out. So she got going, got them close. And then, over the course of 40 minutes, I just thought our depth really paid big dividends in this game.
Alan, and then in the front.
You mentioned not being a one-quarter game, but you get off to an 18-2 start. How much of that goes into game plan, goes into practice, and what do you think you guys were kind of doing so well to get off to such a quick jump?
The energy in the building, it really helps. And if you haven't really played in front of like 18,000, 9,000 is pretty good, 10,000 is good, but we played up at UConn, I don't know how many it was up there, 16,000, and then we come back and play in front of 18,000. It helps us get a little bit more comfortable with playing in an environment like this. And I'm not saying that LSU's not really used to it, but it's a little bit different. It takes some time to adjust to.
Hey, Dawn, more on that environment tonight or this afternoon. It seemed to me like there were times where the crowd was cheering more for defense, whether that was locking up someone above the three-point line or that block that Aaliyah had. What does that say about the defensive culture that you've created here?
Our fans are, they're students of the game. They understand how we created our success, and it's on the backbone of playing defense. Because you don't know if you're going to score 80 points a night. You don't know if you're going to score 60. But if you can hold somebody to 20 points under their average, it increases your chances of winning. So they know that. I mean, also I think they know LSU is capable of putting a lot of points on the scoreboard. So they needed to insert themselves in the game and give us the energy to, to lock in on the defensive side of the ball.
We're going to back to Mountain Green, and then Chaz, and then back to Dallas.
Yeah, Don, you talked about how Aaliyah shouldn't really have to prove she's the best player in the country. A lot was made of this game in total in who the best team in the country was. What kind of pride do you have in your team to be able to go out there and set a note like that really shows you are tier one and there's not really anyone else right there on your heels?
I mean, it's great. It's great to play against a top 3 team in the country in this type of environment, and the build up. The build up. We're competing with Super Bowl coverage, and I thought it was highly publicized. I thought a lot of people were anticipating watching the game. I'd be interested to see what the numbers are when they come out. But it's our team. The players that decided to come to South Carolina, they wanted this. They want to be the best. They want to be the number 1 team in the country. They want to win national championships. And if you want that, then there's a lot of work that comes along with actually doing it. And they do it time and time again.
Sending it back with Chaz.
Don, you guys picked up the big win at Stanford, at UConn, now here against LSU. You're with this team day in, day out. When the lights shine the brightest, what have you learned, or what's been the most interesting thing from your perspective about this team, how they keep performing on the biggest stage?
They're great preparers. Like they come into practice locked in. Like they know. They've watched. I'm sure we haven't watched each of our opponents before we actually game plan as coaches. So they really know. They really know the game plan before the game plan, because they've been around us so much. They understand how to game plan. They know what to say when we're discussing who our next opponent is, and that helps. That's a culture of learning and growing and understanding what it takes to be great.
Dawn, Bree has always been lauded for her defensive play, but this year she has, when you look at the whole season, she's hit a number of clutch threes when you guys have needed them. How huge has her confidence as a shooter been to the success this year?
I'm really happy for Bree. Bree's come a long way. She is that player that is seasoned now. She knows what to expect. She's seen the type of defenses that people continue to play her, and now she's making them pay. Like she's making them pay from banging important threes, like at important times of the game, and her assists to Camilla were great. We needed that. We put her in a position where either she can pass it up or drive it down somebody's throat, and she chose at different times to pass and different times to drive it. So she's playing like a seasoned vet.
Dawn, just now, Kim Mulkey in our post-game presser said it's South Carolina and everybody else. A big gap there. What about your team allows there to be such a gap between the rest of the competition?
We've been together for such a long time. I would have to credit just, our 2019 class that was unafraid to come in here and just unafraid. Super competitive, wanting to win a national championship. Didn't care who was here. Didn't care if that looked like they would have to sit. They just wanted to win. And then they just have incredible chemistry. And then we have great leadership. Victoria's been here for 5 years now, and it just clicks. And they just respect each other. They hold each other accountable. They only want to win, and they're going to do their part for that to happen.
Yeah, you've had I think it's 5,300 and some days here in this job. So you've built this atmosphere that we saw today. What's that like for you? What's it like to experience it when it's at a pinnacle such as this?
I never envisioned what the crowd looked like when I took the job here. I just wanted to win. I wanted to put a product on the floor that really people could be proud of. And I didn't see the crowd. I didn't say, let's fill Colonial Life Arena. They did it. like our fans did it. They just, word of mouth, came in here and decided that we're gonna back this team, and we're gonna make it look like what a national championship team looks like prior to us even winning the national championship. So you got to have that look, you got to have that support, and our fans have done it. I mean, I don't know how many years now. 8. But before then, it was like 5 was a great feat. Now that 5,000 people come in here, something's really wrong. Like something's really wrong. Is only 5,000 fans are here. So I hope I'm still the coach here when not when that happens, but I hope I'm this coach here that the Colonial Life Arena is always packed.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, Coach, rewind 7 or 8 years, and there were heat check type games where you could kind of see how your program matched up against a UConn and what next steps maybe you needed to take to keep building. Now, as the top dogs and Coach Mulkey trying to build her own power program at LSU, was this kind of a heat check type game again? Or is there any added motivation to remind an up-and-coming team like LSU how good y'all are?
No, I mean we all know what Kim is great at. I mean she gets quality players. She's got the best transfer player in Angel Reese. She got LaDeja. I mean she put together a really great team, and she's coaching them up. She put together the number 1 recruiting class for 2023. So she knows what it takes. I mean, she's well ahead of the schedule, when it comes to making LSU a national powerhouse. So, no, I don't think it's a heat check. I think everybody knows we're a good team. Like we've been together for a really long time, and when you have that type of commitment, you're going to win games like this. Next year, it's a crapshoot. So we'll be different, but hopefully we're still at the top.
Dawn, you've obviously made that walk around the court, high-fiving fans and stuff before, but when you do that after a game like this, what are those interactions like? What does that feel like? And especially when you had a crowd like today, what does that kind of feel like?
I mean, we've built our success on that kind of access. It's just a lot more now, and I feel the energy. Like they are happy, like genuinely happy for us winning, because they feel like they were a part of it. And if you feel like you're a part of it, I gotta meet you where you are. I meet our fans where they are, and they want pictures, they want autographs, they want selfies, they want it all. And I want them to keep coming back. So taking that walk around the court is par for the course for us.
Hey, Don. Rashad Milligan from Rolling Out. I wanted to ask you a bit of off-topic thing. You have the Randall Cunningham jersey on right now. There's a lot of people that are going to be talking about the 2 starting black quarterbacks tonight in a historic Super Bowl. But just thinking about Randall Cunningham and his legacy, what do you think he did to lay that groundwork for black quarterbacks?
Randall was a ceiling breaker. When it was probably not very popular to have a black quarterback. And, in Philadelphia, I don't really think they care. They want to win. Like, we want winners. And Randall Cunningham did that for us. And he did it in such an exciting fashion. And I think because of that, Jalen can see what he can be and where he can take us. And he's taken us all the way to a Super Bowl win. No, we're gonna win. Like we are gonna win. Like I do believe it's our time, one, and I do believe that it's divine intervention. It's divinely ordered that young man wins for what he's been through. So I'm gonna go with that.
I hate to break up this meeting of the minds between Eagles fans, but late third quarter, LSU kind of gets it within single digits. You go to the Johnson-Fletcher lineup together. Haven't seen that a lot this year. Was that just trying to keep Fletcher in the game on Morris? Was that just trying to get him? What do you like about that lineup, and why do you think they were able to kind of put the game away?
Yeah, I mean, Kiera made us play her because she played Morris probably better than any other matchup. And then I like the fact that Raven looks to get our post the ball. So it gives us an opportunity for us to have the best of both worlds. Defensively, just keeping the heat on Morris in that great matchup. And then, Raven pushing tempo and getting the ball to where it needs to go. And I'm super happy for Kiera. Like, she's been working extremely hard, and I know, it was probably a hard pill to swallow in Connecticut, but she came back. Like, she's a better player because of it. Like, she's putting herself out there. She played well at Auburn. She played well today, and that's what being competitive is all about. If you don't like a situation, change it. Like, put me in the position to say, hey, keep me out here. And that's what she did.
Closing out with some Eagles. I know you and Jalen have a relationship. Have you talked to him at all since, the playoffs have begun, given any words of wisdom on, going for a championship?
Yeah. I just texted him after we beat San Francisco. I just said one more.
Did he reply?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Let's go. Simple. He's a simple man. Just simple. I don't want anything. I just want one more. I want the city to go crazy. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you.